So in the last class, what we have learned, let's first of all how to store any particular data, how to print the any particular statements, how to print the statement and variables values, okay, how to check any particular type of the data, then how to store the data as a single particular values at a time and multiple values at a time. Then we have learned how to use the input function to store the data as a user input or during the runtime. Then we have learned how to convert the data one type to another particular type. Okay. And in this particular class, we are going to start with the escape sequence concept. Okay. So here I'm going to create, already I have created one particular file. And this first we are going to understand the escape sequence. So what is escape sequence here? So here, just let me show you one particular example here. Here I'm going to write one particular statement. Hi, welcome. And in another particular line, I'm going to write one more particular statement. Something welcome to Python. Okay. Now you can see here we are getting two particular lines. Hi, welcome and welcome to Python. Now, if I try the same thing in other particular programming language, let's take online C compiler. And here I'm going to write something. Okay, so here we need to mention printf and printf. Okay, same two lines are there. This is the line one and this is the line two. Now, if I click on this particular run button, so now you can see what is happening here. Hi, welcome, welcome to Python. It is executing in the same line. But coming to this particular Python programming language, you can see here these particular values are printing in the different particular line. Now the question is why here?
Yes.
If if I type here, okay, simply escape sequence. Now, okay, you can go to any particular definitions. Okay. Now let me go with this particular definition. Now you can see this particular definition here. Is there anything mentioned? No. Okay, let's go with this. To insert characters that are illegal in string, use escape characters. Escape character is a something like backslash followed by the characters you wanted to insert or anything. For example, you can see here there are some examples are given, like I wanted to mention backslash, double slash, slash n, slash r, slash t. Okay, so these are the some particular symbols are there if I wanted to use in my particular string values. But if I use this particular symbols in my particular string value, so it will change the behavior of your particular output. Example, if I use here now hi welcome, and if I mention here something like slash n. Now if I run this, so now what is happening here? Earlier it was printing in the same particular line continuously. Now you can see, let me just write one more time. If I run once again, now you can see here continuously it is printing, right? Hi, welcome, welcome to Python. But if I mention slash n, it is changing the behavior of this particular string value. Or else if I mention here slash t something, again if I click on this particular run button, now you are getting some particular gap here, right? So whenever you create any particular string data and then you wanted to change the format of this particular string data, maybe somewhere comma is coming, say maybe somewhere new lines are coming, maybe somewhere some particular space is coming. So then if you wanted to add those things, these are nothing but the called escape sequence concepts. Means you have a one particular sequence and nothing but the data is coming one by one. So here what type of sequence are coming? These are the string values are there. String is a combination of alphabetical letters or characters. Are you getting my point, guys? Yes, no?
Yes, sir.
So here, what I wanted to do, I wanted to change the behavior here. So here in this particular Python, okay, if I go back here, okay, escape sequence, or there is a one more particular command is there, end in Python. Now you can see here we are getting one particular paragraph. The end parameter in the print function is to add any particular string values. At the end of the output of the print statement in Python, by default, the print functions end with a new line. So here what it is saying, like whenever you're writing this particular print function, whenever you're writing this particular print function, by default there is a one end command is added here. Now the question is, what is this end command here? So normally if I write here something like print 10, okay, if I'm mentioning here print something like 10 comma 20, or else I'm printing here something like print, okay, one string value or a one particular number, okay. So now these values are called arguments. What we call arguments.
Argument.
Arguments mean what? The value which we are passing into the functions while execution. Okay, whenever you execute any particular function, means we wanted to execute the print function. So here print function is executing, we are getting some particular result. So whenever you're executing any particular function, you are passing some particular values. So these values are called arguments. Clear? So these arguments are going to be saved as a one particular name here. So in the when we learn the custom functions, then we'll get the idea how to create the name to store these particular values. That is called parameters. So here by default in the print function, there is a one name is given, and the name is called end here. So if I mention something like this, if I'm mentioning here something print hi welcome and welcome to Python, and if I mention here comma end equals to something star, and if I run this, so what is happening here, in between that, okay, there is a one particular star is displaying. If I write here instead of star, if I write comma, so you can see here automatically comma is coming. Is it clear? Yes, no?
Yes, sir.
So here there is a end is already associated with this particular print function. So that is the thing. This is the documentation is saying the same thing. By default, the print functions end with a new line. Means here in this particular by default in the end value is given as a slash n. For example, if I write here print, okay, hi, welcome, and if I mention slash n, again I'm writing something, how are you, and if I run this, now what is happening here? Okay, hi, welcome, how are you? Okay, we have given some space, that's why space is coming. So now you can see whenever you mention the slash n, are you getting the slash n in the output? No, right? It is coming as a new line. So it means what, here in this particular area slash n is already added, means by default the end value is, what is the by default end value? That is slash n, that is escape sequence. Okay, are you getting my point? Yes,
Yes, sir.
no? Okay, so now if I wanted to change this particular value, yes, I can able to change the value. You can give comma, you can give star, you can give space, you can give any particular value. Now if I wanted to break this particular thing escape sequence and I wanted to add as a one particular line only, you can use the simply particular end equals to space, and now you can see here you're getting the hi, welcome, welcome to Python is printing. So by default, in Python programming language, whenever you use the print statement, again you use the print statement, so it will come into the new line. Why? Because of the end particular, sorry, because of this particular sequence, okay, escape sequence concept. Why? Because by default there is a end command is added in the print function, and this particular end command value is slash n. That's why there are coming in the two particular different lines here. If I add one more particular print function, it will be added in the third line. If I add one more particular print function, it is going to be added in the next particular line. And if I wanted to change this particular end value, yes, you can change the value. Whatever the values you wanted to give, you can give it. So then what will happen after that? Whatever the print function, again, if you are using, and whatever the values you are going to use, these values are going to come with the side by side like that. Clear this point?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now let's go to the next concept, how to store the single line string and multi-line string. Okay, how to store the single line string and multi-line string. So single line string or multi-line string, you can store with this particular single quotes and double quotes. Now let me try to first store the single line string here. So simply I'm going to create one particular variable here. Let's assume a equals to something. And here I'm going to write something, one particular line. Okay, this is my one particular line chart. And now once I print this particular a, perfectly printing. Same thing, you can use the single quotes also. And here you can write something. Okay. And once I print this, perfectly working. So this is the single line string. You can store into the one line also, as well as you can store into the two lines also. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Now, if I wanted to store the multiple lines, then what will happen? Now let me check here. Multi-line string here. Now here I'm going to create one particular variable here, and this is my particular single quotes, and here I'm going to write this is my line number one, and here I'm going to write this is my line number two, and here I'm going to write my this is my line number three, and now I'm going to close this particular single quotes, and now once I run this, I'm getting the some particular error. What is the error here? Error name is here syntax error. Okay. So what is the meaning of the syntax error? What we have learned in the last class? What is the meaning of syntax error?
Hello. I think that's a line error.
No. What is the meaning of syntax? The last class only we have learned, right? You have to remember all the concept, basic fundamentals. Syntax is the behavior of the writing. Whatever the, for
structure of the
example, I
writing.
wanted to store the data. Yes, structure, format, technique, okay, behavior, like how to write something. So here, what actually we are doing, we are storing the string values. But what it is saying like unterminated string literals means here something like after the line number one, okay, these values are going to be terminated, means there is a no connection between the line number one and line number two. Okay, that is the error we are getting, means the format you have mentioned here, this format is wrong here. Now let me try with the double quotes. So this is my double quotes, line number two. Okay, double quotes close. And now once I run this, again I'm getting the same type of error here. Now, here, if when in the particular Python programming language, whenever you wanted to store any particular multiple lines using the single quotes or double quotes, either you have to mention the slash n or else you have to use the single quotes or double quotes three times. Let me show you. Okay, I'm going to use with the single quotes, and here I'm writing something, and after this particular point I want a new line. So simply I'm going to use the slash n, and then I can write something. I can write something, and then again, for example, after this particular point I want a new line. So again I can use the slash n, and I can write something. And once I run this, okay, once I run this, now you can see here we're getting the multiple lines here. Same thing you can do go with the double quotes also. I'm going to write something. Okay, from here, this particular point, I want a new line. So now once I run this, now you can see you are getting the multiple lines here. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Now, now here, I don't wanted to mention the every time slash and backslash and backslash and directly I wanted to execute the multiple lines in the normal way, like how we are going to write this. Because when I'm writing all this thing, it will be very difficult for me like to understand like the where my new particular line is starting here. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to create one particular variable. So first of all, I'm going to mention single quotes three times. Then I can write some particular lines. This is my line number one, line number two, line number three, something. Okay. This is my line number four. And here I'm going to close this particular single quotes three times. And once I run this, I can use this particular print a. And now you can see here multiple lines are printing perfectly. Same thing we can do with the double quotes also. A equals to, okay, three times. This is my line number one. This is my line number two. Okay, line number three, something, whatever the how many lines. Then whenever you wanted to end, just mention this particular triple quotes. 3 times. And once I run this and print this particular a value, now you can see here we are getting this particular multiple lines of result. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Any doubt, any questions till now? Okay. Now,
Mm.
what is the slash t concept? So slash t is used whenever you wanted to give the one tab space in between your particular character sequence. Example, here I'm going to write something print a, something one particular lines is given, and here I'm mentioning the slash t, and again I'm going to write something. So now you can see here, if I run this particular thing, okay, so here after j, let me write some other particular thing better, hi, and here I'm going to write slash t, welcome. So now you can see here you're getting this particular gap here. Why you are getting this particular gap? Because using this particular slash t. So whenever you mention the slash t, by default, okay, you're getting the one tap space here. Clear? Yes, no?
Yes, sir. Clear.
Okay, and slash n, if you use the slash n, it will come a new line. Now, let's go to the next concept, Python string operations. So in this particular, we have four things are there. One is called indexing. Next, we have slicing. Next, we have multiplication. And next, we have the concatenation. Okay. So what is the indexing here? Let's understand one by one. Whenever you store any particular string value, means n number of particular characters. So all these particular characters are going to be stored as a order wise. Example, if I'm writing something hi, okay, so then first h is going to be stored, then I is going to be stored. Example, if I'm storing something like welcome to Python, so then everything is going to be stored as a order wise. For example, first W, then E, then L, okay, then C, okay, then O, M. Like this, continuously it is going to be stored one by one, one by one, one by one, order wise. So if I wanted to access any particular characters or multiple characters in between those particular string values, then I need to use the indexing concept. So whenever you store any particular index values, these particular index values are going to be count from left to right side, or else you can count from the right to left side. Example, let me open one particular Excel file. And here I'm going to write something, any particular string value. Okay. Okay. So this is our particular string values then. Now, what I wanted to do here, I wanted to count these particular values here. So here, first of all, okay, if I'm counting from left to right side, okay, left to right side, left to right side, okay, and here I'm going to mention right to left side, okay. So how I'm going to count here? So if I'm counting from left to right side, then indexing will start with the 0. So first will be 0, second will be 1, okay, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like this it is going to be continuously. Got it? Yes, no? So whenever you are counting any particular string value from left to right side, then indexing always start with the 0. if you are counting from, okay, if you are counting from the right to left side, then indexing is going to be start from the -1. So here this character will be -1, this will be the -2, this will be the -3, this will be the -4, -5, -6, and -7. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now let me write here the points. Whenever you store any in any string value, all the characters are stored in order form. You can fetch the single character or multiple characters using the index number of the individual character. So note, if you are counting from left to right side, then indexing will start from 0. If you are counting from right to left, then index will start from minus. Okay. So here, slicing part. What is the slicing? So whenever you wanted to fetch multiple characters, example, okay, if I write slice of pizza, or if I'm writing slice of mango. So slice of pizza means complete pizza or a part of the pizza. It's a part of your pizza, not your complete particular pizza, right? So similarly, in a string value, there will be one word will be there will be multiple words will be there will be one line will be there, or multiple lines will be there. So whenever you wanted to fetch any particular part of your particular string, it may be a 2 characters, maybe 20 characters, 20 line, it may be anything. Simply, whenever you wanted to fetch a part of your particular string value, then it will be called as a slice of that particular string, and the process is called slicing. So here I'm going to write, whenever you wanted to fetch any part of the given string, so that is called slicing here. And how are you going to fetch this? What is the syntax here? Here also I need to write the syntax. So first of all, here you have to mention the variable name, okay, where the string is stored, and then you have to mention the index number. That's it. So automatically that character, single character, is going to fetch in the indexing. Similarly, here also in the slicing part, same thing, you have to mention the variable name, and then here you have to mention the starting index, and then here you have to mention the end index plus 1. Now the question is, why you need to mention the plus 1? Example, if you mention, okay, example, if you mention 1 to 5, then what will happen? Here it is going to understand the start index is 5, sorry, start index is 1, and then end index is 4. Why? Because when you mention the 5, it is going to be calculated like this: 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Total 5 values, because it will count as a decimal. We have number systems are right. We have 4 types of numbers are there. Number system like binary numbers, octal number, decimal number, hexadecimal number. Binary number base value is 2, octal is 8, decimal is 10. Decimal 10 means 1 to 9, 9 values including 0, total 10 values. Okay, so here using the decimal number system in the programming. So here when you mention the 5, then it will understand there are 5 values are there, but 0 to 4. So that's why it is going to mention 4 here. So then what type of values are going to be executed? First index, second index, third index, and fourth index. One more example, if I mention here something like 5 to 9, then what will be my starting index? What will be the starting index and end index? 5 will be the starting index. End index means
9.
which value?
8.
It will be 8th, not 9th. Clear, guys?
Yes, sir.
Any doubt, any questions till now?
No.
Okay. One more note here. So you cannot slice in reverse order. Reverse order means what? If I'm giving something like -1 to -3, so no, not possible. It will give you the empty information. So if you are mentioning the plus value or minus value, you have to go with the left to right only. So here slicing is possible when you go left to right side indexing. It doesn't matter you're giving the indexing in the positive value or negative value. But if you go with the reverse order, then it is not going to be executed. Clear this point?
Yes, sir.
Now, let's go to the next topic, that is concatenation. What is the meaning of the concatenation? Concatenation means whenever you want to joint, okay, two or more string value, then this particular concept is called concatenation. Just assume a equals to something hi is saved, b equals to something hello is saved, okay, and there is a one more c variable is there, I wanted to store as a welcome. So if I wanted to join, how you are going to join this? What is the syntax? Syntax is simple. First you have to mention the first particular variable 1 plus variable 2 plus variable 3, like this. Any combination, for example ba, okay, something ca plus b, or you are going to write something like ba plus c, or else you are writing something a plus b, any particular format. Clear? So whenever there are multiple string values are there and you wanted to join that particular multiple string values, then you have to go with the concatenation concept. Clear, guys? Any doubt, any questions till now?
No, sir.
Now let's go to the next concept, that is multiplication. What is the multiplication? Multiplication concept means whenever you want to repeat your string value n number of times, then you have to go with the multiplication. What is the syntax here? Just you have to mention the variable name, like where your the string value is saved, and then you have to mention the asterisk symbol, nothing but the star symbol, multiplication symbol, and then repeating number. Example, okay, just assume there is one particular user name is there, okay, I wanted to print 10 times, or else there is one particular paragraph is there, I wanted to print 10 times, like this. Clear, guys?
Yes, sir.
Now let's continue this particular as a practical. This is just a theoretical part. Now let's write the same thing in the practical. So here I'm going to store some particular values, okay, a equals to something hello world, and now I wanted to print this particular a. Perfectly it is printing, and if I wanted to check what is the type of this particular variable, it is a string value perfectly. Now what I wanted to print, I wanted to print a single particular index. So simply if I write a of 0, I'll get the h here. If I write a of 1, I'll get the e here. If I write -1, I'll get the last value. Okay, now if I mention something 6, what is going to print? Tell me fast. that is going to print as a W. Now you can see count here 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and the fifth value. Clear? Now, similarly, because space also included, now we have slicing. Slicing nothing but the part of your given particular string. This is our particular string value. And if I mention 1 to 4, means first index, second index, and third index, nothing but ELLO is printing. If I mention something like -4 to -1, so then ORL is going to print. But if I write reversely, for example, if I write -1 to -3, so I cannot able to get any particular answer, because there is a, you cannot count from the right to left. You have to count from the left to right. Either you are giving the positive value or negative value. Next, we have concatenation. So just assume A1 equals to some particular value is there. Okay, something like B1 equals to some value is there. Okay, C1 equals to some value is there. Okay, now I wanted to join this value. I can write two values also. I can write three values also, any particular file. Okay, and I can store these particular values also. Example, if I mention here something like D equals to, okay, A1 plus B1 plus C1. Now you can see in the D, hi welcome Python is saved. Okay, so whenever you wanted to join multiple string value, simply you can use this particular plus symbol, nothing but the concatenation. Just assume I want some particular space here. Okay, so for that purpose, there is a one ready-made function is available, join function. Okay, so what this particular join function will do, it will join that particular string value with the spaces here. For example, here I'm going to mention, okay, D equals to A1, okay, and then I'm going to use this particular join function. Okay, I'm going to use the join function. Okay, or else, okay, simply, okay, let's write same thing, A1, and okay, I wanted to concatenate with this particular join function, and then I'm going to mention one more concatenation. Okay, here I need to mention the quotes, and here I'll write some particular space, and then I'm going to mention one more particular B1 here. Okay, okay, we are getting join take exactly one arguments. Okay, so let's take B1, and now here I'm going to mention the D value. So now what is happening here, these particular values are going to be joined, okay, with this particular A1 with the some particular spaces here. Now you can see here after the W some space is coming, after the E some space is coming, after the L some particular space is coming, after the C some particular spaces are coming. Are you getting my point? Yes, no?
Yes, yes, sir.
Now simply if I just wanted to add the differences with these particular words only, then you can write like this also, A1 plus space plus B1. So now what will happen here? Only the space is going to become between the words. For individual string, if I wanted to give some particular spaces, then automatically you can use this particular join function. Okay. For example, there is a one particular word is there. Okay. There is a word something like A is there. Okay. A is a hello world is there. Okay. Similarly, okay. Let's store one more particular variable, and in this I'm going to store multiple something. Okay, here I'm going to store multiple words as a differentiate way. For example, welcome, and here I'm mentioning to. Okay, and here I'm going to mention Python. Now there are three particular different words are there. Okay, if I write here, there are three particular words are there. Welcome is a separate word, to is a separate word, and Python is a separate word. Now what I wanted to do, I wanted to convert this as a string value. So just you have to create one particular variable, just mention the dot join and this particular C. Okay, you have to give the space, and then once you run this, now you can see here this is going to be saved as a string value with the spaces like this. So there are different ways are there, like you are storing the particular values, okay, between the words space also, or else the individual particular character spaces also. Is it clear? Yes, no?
Yes, sir.
No. Let's go with the multiplication. Okay, we have this particular string is there, and I wanted to repeat this multiplication. For example, A I wanted to repeat 10 times, or else A I wanted to repeat 2 times, or else I wanted to repeat 3 times. So whenever you wanted to repeat your particular string values n number of times, just you need to mention the numbers and then mention it. Automatically, it is going to be repeat n number of particular times here. Okay, so this is your particular string operations. So what is a string operation? We have four concepts are there: indexing, okay, slicing, concatenation, and multiplication. Indexing nothing but the, okay, the individual particular character if you wanted to fetch. Slicing means multiple characters or the part of your particular string. Concatenation nothing but you are joining something, means you are going to, there are multiple string values are there and now you wanted to join those particular string values. Okay, multiplication means you wanted to repeat your particular string values in number of particular times. Now coming to the next particular concept, that is the string built-in functions. So what is a string built-in function? In the last class also we have used the type function, print function, input function, integer function, float functions. Those are the ready-made functions are there. Built-in functions are nothing but the ready-made functions. Ready-made functions. Ready-made functions means what? So here these functions are already created. These functions are ready-madely available for you. Means whenever I wanted to generate some particular result, I can use this particular ready-made functions and I can able to generate something. Just assume I have stored this particular A as a hello world. What I wanted to do, I wanted to convert this into the capital ABCD. So there is a ready-made function called upper function. So automatically what is happening here, it is going to be converted as a capital ABCD. If I use a lower function, so what will happen here, it is going to be converted as a small ABCD. Similarly, if I use is lower, then it will check whether all the characters in the small ABCD or not. If I'm writing is upper, so it is going to check whether all the particular characters in the capital ABCD or not. There is one more function called capitalize, which is used to convert the first character of the given string as a capital. Now you can see H is a capital, remaining all are in the small ABCD. There is one more title function is there, which is used to convert the first character of the each and every word as a capital. Now you can see H is capital and W is capital here. Similarly, there is one more function called length function. And if I mention the variable name, then it will check how many characters are saved inside your particular string value. There is one more particular count function is there, which is used to check any particular character is repeating how many times. For example, if I mention D, in hello world, D is repeating 1 time. If I mention here count, and if I mention A, so here it is saying 0, means in a hello world, A is repeating 0 times. If I write here count, and if I mention here something E, so now it is saying E is also repeating 1 time. So whatever that, let me add one more count L, and now here it is printing 3 times. So whenever you wanted to check any particular character is repeating how many times, you can go with this particular count function. And if you wanted to split your particular, if you wanted to check how many words are there, so then you can use the split function. Then it will give you like how many words are available here. If I wanted to count that words, you can use the length dot a dot split function. Or else what you can do, you can create a separate variable also. You can store this particular result. Okay, you can store this particular result split, and then you can print the length of the v variable. In this particular way also you can execute this. Clear? Yes, no?
Yes, sir.
Similarly, there is one more particular function is there which is used to remove the unwanted character from the left side or right side. Example, Here I'm going to store some particular data, a1 equals to something, and here I'm going to mention some particular values, and here I'm going to mention some particular symbols here. And next, if I'm mentioning here, okay, print a1. Okay, now you can see here there are some particular unwanted special characters are there. I wanted to remove these particular characters. If I mention here a1, okay, and then I have a one more strip function is there, and if I mention those particular characters, okay, so here I'm going to mention hashtag, there is a dollar symbol is there, percentage symbol is there, and symbols are there. So now you can see here it is going to be removed from the all the sides. Guys, mute yourself if you are not speaking. Okay, next thing, if I wanted to remove only from the right side, you can use the R strip, and here like means right side if I wanted to remove. So right side you can see only percentage is there and symbol is there. Similarly, if I mention here left strip, and here I'm going to mention left side if I wanted to remove any particular characters. So left side, what are the symbols are there? Hashtag is there, dollar symbol is there, and percentage symbol is there. Okay, and now once you can see here left side it is removed. Is it clear? Any doubt, any questions?
No, sir.
Okay, so let me just assign you some particular task from today onwards. Let me copy this particular file, and here I'm going to paste this particular file. Okay, so today I'm going to assign you three particular tasks. Okay, so let me copy. Okay, so let me explain you all these particular three tasks first. Now, first question. Write a program which take a string value using the input function and print the total character of the given string. So what here what you have to do, you have to take one variable and you have to store the data using the input function. And then example, if you are storing ABCD, the expected output will be 4. If you store the data as a Virat, then expected output will be as a 5. Clear? Second question. Write a program which take a string value using the input function and print the reverse string. Example, you have stored ABCD, then expected output will be the DCBA. Third question. Write a program to print the F block and C block where width is 5 and 4 and height is 6 using the multi-line string. So here you have to use you have to draw F using the multi-line string. So this is called width, and you can see these are called height. Clear? Any doubt, any questions?